experienced world, those who will share their ideas, their experiences, because this crisis, we had no idea what is going to happen. It started small with a bigger objective. And that bigger objective is to connect the whole people on a platform where we can spread positivity, confidence, and a sign of ray of hope that together we will overcome this crisis. Today is a great day and a great day for TEDxKanke also, because we are having 13th speaker in continuation from different stream. We had invited earlier senior bureaucrats, industry captains, educational institution head. They all shared their insight. It was enriching session. So we thought those who are a real warrior, those who are working for the society at a front level, because the idea of TED to spread the positivity, to bring the best ideas. And we are fortunate that TED, being a global non-profit organization, they have given license in the name TEDxKanke to organize similar program at a local level, not only for the people of Ranchi, but for the whole humanity, because on this global platform and online platform, people are connected. I am seeing few friends from Singapore, from UK, from Middle East. They have joined this session. It means a lot, because yes, together we will contribute and we will also overcome this crisis. This is a big crisis, and how to resolve it, how to overcome it, step by step, with firm commitment, with a firm policy, with firm implementing few good things. Yes, we can overcome all those things at a personal level, at a professional level also. Today we have speaker, Mr. Seemant Kumar Singh. He does not require any introduction. He is an IPS officer of 1996 batch of Karnataka state cadre. He belongs to Bihar. He studied in Ranchi. He did schooling in Ranchi and college from St. Xavier College. After that, he went to Delhi for higher studies and he did his graduation from Kirori Mal College and St. Stephen's College. After that, he became youngest IPS officer of India and he got the cadre of Karnataka. Why we had requested him? A man with a vision, with a proper action, and he's contributing the society in his own fashion. I just share you one thing. He got a one call on his personal number, and that day was 30th of March 2020. And in that call, people were requesting, sir, we are stuck in one area and we are approximately 400 people and not having a food, not having anything to sustain our life. That one message touched him. Let us do something. But he had no idea what would happen, because he just did for his own personal satisfaction and he just wanted to contribute in his own way. But from second day, his personal number became a helpline number. People from all across, because all those people, those who had got that service, that support, they spread this number. There is one officer in Karnataka, in Bangalore, just give him call, he will respond. And from that day, it started till today. I don't know the number, thousands, more than thousands, millions. He has touched their lives. Many newspaper, even I was surprised and I felt proud to have him for this session. In one newspaper, it was written, अप्रवासियों के लिए भगवान बने कर्नाटक के IGP. He was being recognized as a Bhagwan. A simple human being, if he gets such kind of respect, what more we need? Honestly, sir, all your endeavor, your initiative has given an insight to many. Let us contribute to the society. Yes, let us work together and what more to do for the society. So please welcome Mr. Seemant sir for this journey he started from 30th of March till date, and he keeps helping the whole society. He's a real savior. He's a real ambassador. And he's a real Bhagwan of this humanity, which is very important. He not only responded, he acted, he delivered, he created a path, he touched many lives. He touched many lives. We all are proud to have him. So I request Seemant sir to share his ideas on this journey. We will talk more later on also. So over to you, sir. Please, sir.
Thank you, Rajiv. You were going overboard in praising me. It's not like that. Everyone is contributing in their way. But you have gone and told in a nutshell everything which is the matter which I'll go explain in detail. First and foremost, I thank TEDxKanke and Rajiv and all your team to have called me, invited me for this webinar. And I appreciate that most of my people whom I know, whom you know, who have been following me in this effort, and more so, who have supported me in this entire program, will be watching and listening to me. This is just an exercise which I did, and I appreciate that all of us have the capacity to do it in future in any circumstances. So first and foremost, I like to take everyone who's joined today back to the situation which was there prevailing all over the country 3 months back. Let us go back 3 months back, exactly towards the end of March, when lockdown was imposed in the entire country. Lockdown means a hell lot of thing for everyone. I would vouch that all of us, the moment the lockdown was announced, people must have started hoarding things, buying things in a panic, or making arrangements for what will happen during lockdown, how to get about their daily stores and all those things. But there was a group of people who is the subject of today's discussion, the migrants. We are saying, I would not like to call them migrants. Guest workers is an appropriate word for them. So they were the people who didn't have money, didn't have the resources to go and line up before a shop and start buying things in a panic, because they are all daily wage earners, or maybe some weekly wage earners. So there starts the problem. I'm going to talk about them, how this issue has literally affected them, and what are the measures I, as an individual, taking help from my police department, taking help of the civil society, could do something. As you correctly pointed out, it was on 30th March that there were a group of some people, about 400, who were provided with food and ration by me. And I thought that it's just the matter finishes there, because I also didn't, because just like any other person in India, we never thought that this lockdown is for how many days, what is the consequences. So the people who were helped, they were really in distress, in the sense that they were in a different location. It was not their traditional shelter. They had come out near a national highway. They were waiting to catch some trucks, containers, or some vehicles which will take them to North India. And unfortunately, some 3-4 days these things were happening. But towards the end of March, everywhere the press highlighted that people are going in an inhuman manner. So they started, the police, especially the police, started becoming very strict on the national highways. So these people were caught in a catch-22 position. I helped them with food. I helped them with rations. We gave them exactly 21 days of ration. It had a person could eat food for 21 days, because the first lockdown, if you see 1.0, was for 3 weeks, 21 days. So this ration kit, which was formulated, and we worked out with help of people, the amount of rice, dal, onion, and whatever things required was that much. There the matter ended. I never thought that things will go out of control from here. From here, I started getting calls, and then all the story starts. So first, I like to just briefly touch upon all these points, and then come to the basics. In this, I like to say that any police officer, whether he or she in any capacity gets a lot of exposure in to deal with uncertain things, with disasters, with serious calamity, with accidents. But this situation was a totally different situation. It was a human tragedy. And in this situation, the entire Indian police force, and I say the entire Indian police force, right from the constable to the senior most officer in all the states, they have done a wonderful job. And I consider myself a chain of that, small chain in that. So what I contributed is also a part about all the other police are doing, and everywhere they got good name, and they have really helped everyone in this distress situation. Now, how we go about it is like it is all family values. Unless until you understand a crisis, unless until if you turn a blind eye to a crisis, you can't look into the details of the crisis. So, going by that, the family value should be there to understand a crisis, to have the trust of the donors. Then there should be a committed people who will be willing to come forward to donate. So it all boils down to, I coined it as ATR, the attitude, technology, and resource. The attitude should be positive. Technology was with smallest basic technology of WhatsApp and SMS, and the resources were by the donors, by the police department, who were going beyond the call of the duty. So when we combine this ATR, we got some results. This I coin it like that. And it was a very well-oiled machine. Each one knew their job. Call was from the migrant. Rest was all done through WhatsApp and SMS. It was as simple as that. As I go on with my discussion, I'll tell you all those. So the entire operation, the main person was the migrant. And the trust of the migrant was very important. He has to be told that yes, he will be taken care of. Once he gets that trust, he opens up. Once he opens up, then our work starts. So this was the system. And I was just an operator of that helpline number. So, that helpline number, which we'll be talking later on also. So I was just an operator and trying to help the things go on. And let us just think once, we are all sitting here in this webinar and deliberating on an issue of migrants whom, mind you, none of them can operate a Zoom or they are on Twitter or they are on any of the latest social media platforms. They can be on WhatsApp, they can be on Facebook, but we are discussing them, and I'm sure none of the migrants will be our viewers here. Okay, just imagine a situation if the migrants were tech savvy or they had access to social media. The social media would have been bombarded. I think this is a word I'm using. Bombarded that yes, we are not getting this, we are not getting that. These are poor, innocent, illiterate people who just had a phone, and the phone also was a basic phone, not a phone which some people may be having smartphones, but most of them were having basic phones. So basically, we are dealing with that section of society discussing here. So please, if I would request everyone to take a thought back and see what problems they were having. And with this in background, I am in Karnataka, I am in Bangalore city. I can tell you that there was no violence here. There was no unrest. And I take my police, the civil society here, take full credit that we had built a bond. We had built a relationship between the migrants, and they were expressing their problems and we were trying to solve. Going a step ahead, I again say that the police did their job exceedingly well. They had a tough time. The entire areas were to be on lockdown, sealed down. Nakabandi, which we call checkposts, were to be built. There was a fear of COVID coming around. So with these things and all, still the police combine their work beautifully, and they improvise their work. Like for example, in Bangalore city, all the police stations opened their own kitchen because the staff could not go out, and the kitchens were having surplus food, so that some needy person in their area comes across, we feed them also. So in a way, all the lockup rooms improvised and became temporary storerooms for food grains. So this is just some idea I gave you. Again, I come back to the question of public service, which is the main focus is approachability. A public servant will never succeed if he is not approachable. So once he is approachable, certainly he will get a proper exact feedback from the ground. The ground reality will be there. If only he can realize and relates to a problem, then only he'll be able to solve it. So this was the USP, which the direct feedback I was getting from from the people. And coming with it was the messages and the phone calls in hundreds which I was receiving daily, right from 30th March, a few days back. Obviously, the phone calls have, right for 3 months, they went on, went on. I lost count of how many calls came. But yes, I have made a record of all those phone calls. And I have all the records. It's all on my data entries there. And I really want to work it out how best some research can be done on that. There was a clear option for me, and some people suggested also, why don't you change your number? Initially only, some of my close people, they said that no, it's a very bad thing, so you won't be able to do your work. But then I took a conscious decision to stick to it and help those people in distress, because this was the only way. It was a minor thing. Receiving a call is a minor thing, in my opinion, in that situation, because given the training which every police officer, we get training, we are more robust, we are more tough in outdoor, and this getting a phone call hardly matters. It can be easily looked into. We are more used to more serious law and order situations. So this was nothing to do. But yes, it was sometimes becoming more than able to control. But I took the decision to stick on with it. So it was basically, I went with a targeted approach. Like a great entrepreneur who distributed newspaper, as a kid once said, best way to go about it is to know who needed it. So I followed this policy of target. I was seeing the target, where are my targets? And I was knowing the targets, and I was feeding the targets. So there was no discrepancy, and instant results were being shown there. And if you are doing a public service, there are no standard operating procedures. It is voluntary. It comes on its own. We have to evolve as the thing goes on. So I took up the role of being a fulcrum of this whole effort. My number had already been treated as a COVID helpline, and our efforts were extended to anyone who may be in need, irrespective of the region. It was a one nation, one effort. Some small gestures I'd like to point out here. Like, we had one donor. He had a huge farm where guavas were rotting. Guavas were ready, but no one could take out the guavas. It went up to more than 1,000 kgs. We took all this. He helped us, and we gave it in a half of kg pack. We made it and gave it to all our staff who were on the road for these 2 months. So these are small gestures which we wanted to increase the motivation of our force. Then I was moved by one very interesting episode where we had a group of permanent workers in a location where they were permanent, they were getting good salary, but their counterparts who were temporary workers were given the pink slip, and they said, okay, now you have to go. So these workers started contributing from their own salary, and they gave it to the local police inspector, saying that, sir, we will take care of them. So this is the type of commitment. Workers among them started helping each other. So that gave us further motivation. Look, they are doing on their own. We have to help them. So this is the thing. So I just gave you a nutshell, the background of how things were going on. And
Yes.
now I'll come to the basics, which will be really, really interesting for you. I'll divide my small topic into 5 main parts. The first part is the initial lockdown period of all the 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, where the main focus was on food grains. The stakeholders were the demand side. You have workers who are 90% of the demand, lower middle class about 8%, and any other person about 2%, categorized like that. And the issues were more than 90% about food. Many issues came up about house rentals. Many people were not able to pay the rents, so they were being asked to go out. And then there were many personal issues, which we cannot discuss here, but there were many issues. And from the supply side, we had, yes, the robust IT sector in Bangalore, the IT sector as individuals, as companies, then the associations, the resident welfare associations in all the major areas. One and all, everyone was ready to help. So this was my supply line, and my demand line, I told you. So how to match the demand and supply was the main focus here. The geographical reach of this scheme, of this entire system was Bangalore was 75%. We reached out to 75, means our target was 75% of the focus was on Bangalore. Rest of Karnataka was 15%, and other states were 10%. Other states like Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Gujarat, Andhra Pradesh, even Bihar. So you will be surprised to know that we were supplying things in Bihar also sitting here. How? I'll come to that. So why basically I'm talking, because all these helpline numbers, whether in Bangalore or rest of Karnataka or in the other states, of these 5-6 states. It was going by word of mouth, by through newspapers. It had spread, and they never thought that who is he. Saw this number and they used to call up, and it was a very like an example in Bihar. I'll tell you, I got a call from Bihar in one place. A lady calls me, and she wanted a gas cylinder, but she didn't tell me where she is. So I also took it for granted that she's in Bangalore. So I asked her which area, but she said some village name in Bihar. So, but I cannot tell her that, look, I can't do anything there. So I used the help of my batchmate and said that, look, this is a very small demand, but you have to get her a cylinder. And my batchmate was kind enough, within half an hour he got it, and she called me back. She said, mil gaya. So this was the thing. I never used to disclose who I am, and I was going on with my work. And the mechanism of distribution was through my police officers network, and the private persons, they were also coming with our police. Then outside state, I used to take help of my batchmates in my service, whether IAS or IPS or in any other service. And certainly many friends who are sitting here also in other states have helped me. And the highlights were, there was no financial transaction. Every donation was in terms of ration. There was no storage houses. We didn't have storage. Only small storage. If it was there, it was in the police stations. Interesting thing was, there was a demand only for dry rations, because the food habits of North India, because I was not looking only after Bihar, Jharkhand, many people from Bengal, Uttar Pradesh, even Odisha, everyone was asking. So the food habits is different. They didn't want prepared food. Then the fear of COVID-19 was there. They didn't want to be exposed daily 2 times. Like an example, I'll give you one person. He was standing in line and he got only 1 meal. He wanted another 2 for his children, and wife was pregnant in the house. So the authorities refused, because you can get, one person gets only 1 meal. He calls me up and says, sir, what is this? So these type of things made us change our strategy. We never went for prepared food. We went for dry rations. And cooking food was an extra effort without any rewards. Then it reduces the shelf life also. Then we could have multiple distribution networks with dry rations. And we were having, as I told you, we were serving for 21 days. The boxes were ready for 21 days. So we have these PCR vans in Bangalore, which are locally called hoysalas. So I can easily say that in my term, they became Santa wagons. Santa wagons in the sense that Santa used to come and provide food. Yes, I think that because they were so happy, the moment the vehicle used to come, they used to get. And in fact, the one worker used to ask the other, how come, from where did you get? Then they used to say, you call up this number, you will get. So that was the thing that was going on. And the migrants were comfortable with my language. Here, this was very important. I was in rough Hindi, in Bihari, whatever is maybe. So I used to understand it, and they were very, very comfortable with it. And interesting thing I'd like to point out, that whenever, like suppose Rajiv wanted to join, so I will tell Rajiv that, look, that person is my peer group leader. So we had kept some 1 or 2 IT people who are experts in explaining the newcomer how to enter my scheme, because I didn't have time to receive and explain anyone. That was the situation. Every minute I used to get a call. So I used to share numbers, and the persons used to get details from the persons who were already doing it. So they used to enter our chain, and every day we used to get new entries. And best part was that the pictures used to be taken and put on WhatsApp. Whoever is the donor, morning he gives the donation. By evening, we show the picture, send a WhatsApp of the area where it is distributed and the phone number to which it has gone. And here, the role of social media was very, very important, especially the press, because the more highlighted this system became, I got more donors. I got donors even from far away from Ranchi to be donating in Bangalore, which was a very, very unique thing, because there is lockdown. You can't go here and there. You can't purchase things. And then there was a problem of movement in the lockdown time. There were parcels to be taken. So this was suiting the person. Sitting in the house, he used to Paytm to a shop trader. And that trader will, as per specification, make a box. So the person did not have to take a pass, go and do purchasing, then give it to us. So it was suiting everyone. Similarly, like from Ranchi, I don't want to name anyone here. The person has donated sitting in Ranchi because he donated to an NGO here. The NGO gave us a box. So that was the system which was going on. It became personal specific, family specific, and it was continuously, this system was being updated and becoming more target oriented. The lockdown was being extended, so it went on for twice, thrice, because again, these same people used to come back to us. Sir, आपने पहले दिया था और चाहिए खत्म हो गया. But whatever it is, we used to keep supplying. And interestingly, all these thing was like we had these Bangalore has a work culture where the people are willing to serve, where the ethics of the police department was such, and I was given a free hand by the government and my seniors, especially my DG and IGP, Shri Praveen Sood sir. He very like he was behind my back and he told me that yes, what you are doing, please go ahead and do it. Otherwise, it was very difficult to combine my work and this together. And personal egos had to be put aside, and trust and confidence had to be created. So then we had a serious problem because people like our own staff, they were a bit afraid to go and give their supply the rations. So we evolved another scheme. We started doing social distancing on whatever was in the rule books, making squares, keeping the food packets there and come out, or keeping it on the outside of their door and all. So all these things helped us, and the thing went on. So this is as far as the food distribution is concerned. Now coming to another aspect which you may not be aware of, it is the internal movement during the lockdown period. So that was a very ticklish issue. Lockdown is there, but there has to be some movement which is very essential. Death or some family problem or some very pressing emergency medical problem. And we had some people who were stuck here in Bangalore. You know, it is a medical hub. People come here for education. So that was a very major challenge for us because no trains were running, no flights are there, no buses are there. So what I used to do, I used to hire the taxis for them, help them in hiring taxis. They used to give the money. This is like PAN, maybe migrants also, maybe other people also. And then we used to organize, see that from the other place, whether Bengal or Bihar or Jharkhand, anyone is interested in coming this side because the helpline number I used to get. And we used to cross-subsidize the taxi hire charges because the hire charges were very high. And then give them interstate passes, national passes, and then organize their movement right up to Bengal or Bihar or Jharkhand. There was a situation very unfortunate where a lady died in Bangalore under suspicious circumstances. The husband was a suspect. So the body is there. There's no one to take, no relation from the lady's side because the postmortem has to be done. Now that those people have to be brought from Jharkhand. So we organized the passes from that side, saw that they reach here, got the postmortem done, and these are all simultaneously going on where otherwise if we don't interfere, nothing will move. Similarly, there was a situation where a worker approached us and his son was having a very fatal disease in Bihar, and where only for 4 days the medicine was left. So this person has come and he had some very like he wanted to go. He said, "आप मुझे भेजिए, कैसे भी भेजिए." And he's a poor person, we can't send him. So then we took the details of the medicine. I talked to the officer in Bihar, and the officer was kind enough. He couldn't get the medicine in one place. He searched in another place. He got it from Patna, combined all these medicines, sent his person on motorcycle to the village and got it delivered. So these were some things which we were doing within the lockdown period. And there were so many cases. We used to send people from here. They used to be blocked on the highway by some other state in the entry because all states were having different rules. They're saying, "Oh, we don't recognize this pass."
Yes.
So there used to be a total chaos. And this was all being done. I had few friends down in Jharkhand and Bihar who were helping me out. So we used to and my friends down in Jharkhand were also kind enough that on the way they used to organize their stay also. So this is the thing, how it was going on. Now, another aspect was from the 2nd of May, when we came into the period of train movements. That is the Shramik trains. This is another interesting thing, which was a new experience for us. I can just tell you that the trains were literally being run by the police, the corporation, and obviously the railways are the ultimate authority. But ticketing was being done by the local transport agencies, the local transport. The entire system of getting these people from different places, getting them medical done, getting them food, putting them on a train was done by the police. And here, if you go by the numbers, Bihar and Jharkhand, a rough estimate of about 2 lakhs. 2 lakh people have been transported through trains. In the entire, from other states, if you count, it will be around 4.5 lakhs. So total around 250 trains have moved till now. Now here, there was a very tricky situation in the sense that trains were very few. Hardly in a day, 1 or 2 trains were there, and lakhs people were there. So how to ensure that everyone gets a chance and there is no stampede. So we've evolved a strategy where we used to take these people, whoever were registered, we had a system of Seva Sindhu registration. Through the registration, we used to take out the people. Area-wise, we used to evacuate them, take them to some nodal hubs, then again combine them and send them to far-off places, not from the main railway station in Bangalore, so that there won't be any stampede. That is why, again, I like to tell that in Bangalore, there was no stampede, no lathi charge, no raid. In fact, we were sending these as if like we sent in barats, we have these marriages, we used to provide them food, give them everything possible. Even the railway officials were kind enough, they were giving small toys. Chenpatna is a place which is known for toys here. They were giving toys to the children of the guest workers. So like this, we were trying to help out them. Here, an interesting thing was there that every train we used to reserve 1 or 2 coaches for students, for medical patients. We had medical patients sitting in the lodges and the hotels. After operation, they are stuck there for 3 months, 2 months, because they can't move. There's no transport. So we took out the list from the hospitals that in the near past, who all have got admitted, who all have got this trouble, and we took out those people batch by batch. We used to send them into trains. There were students, and how to get them out from their places. So we used to send our police vehicles to their houses, give them a WhatsApp call, WhatsApp message, and tell them to be ready, because we could not assure them that, look, today is your train. Suppose we assure them and the train is not there, we'll be in a very false position. So we used to continuously keep them in good humor, keep telling them, look, you will be taken, but don't be in a panic and please cooperate with us. Interestingly, one of the parents, he said, see, my son was just told now that he has to go. He didn't even buy a PPE. He doesn't have a mask. So I told my staff there in the railway station, look, you check up in your police station, give him a mask, give him a hand gloves. So these small things also made a lot of difference. And his father, that particular student, they were always thanking me throughout. We used to do, because safe distancing, social distancing had to be maintained. So we could not gather all the people in one place. And all things had to be done in surprise. Because suppose we said, okay, this place is the mustering point for all to go to Ranchi. So train can take only 1,500 people. We'll have 10,000 people there. So we never used to tell anywhere. So these are some aspects. And one more important thing is about the database of migrants. We have a database of migrants now, which, as already our Honorable Prime Minister Sir has started the employment schemes, and we can have better policing, we can have better social amenities, civic amenities for them with these migrant data, because we have their Aadhaar numbers, we have their mobile numbers, we have the places where they are. Taking this further, now we are in a situation, because as I started with going 3 months back, I'm talking of present. We have this COVID-19 problem. We can, and obviously we can, and we should use our civic amenity, civic society, and try to pool in our resources and try to see that we also contribute in this. How we can do is a medical profession. In the medical profession, we can't go medically, but yes, 80% of the COVID cases, whether here or there, are asymptomatic. They can be kept in isolation places, which can be community halls, where we can contribute. We can take care of them, because the asymptomatic people don't have any problems. They just have to be isolated. So isolation centers is the need of the time, and the society can come forward. Today only I heard in Mumbai that a lot of the gym facilities and the resident associations are using the gym facility as well as their meeting halls, and they have converted them into isolation centers. So that's a very good thing which we can contribute. I'd like to just add 2-3 interesting points which, for the interest of everyone. I used to always get calls by different, because they used to think who I am. One person called me and said that, one lady called me, said that, today what ration you are going? She thought that I'm a ration shop in charge. And she said, I'll get my card, and what all ration you have? I asked, what do you want? So this type of thing used to come. Then there was a situation in Kerala. Some people were from Bihar, they were stranded there. They didn't know which place they were in. So I kept on asking where you are, but they were not able to exactly tell me. Then I told them that, okay, you come out of your place and click a picture of some board, some name board. So they took a name board of one religious structure, and then that name board picture, I gave it to my batchmate down in, then he helped those group of people. So these type of things were common. And then one interesting thing happened where one group of people, they had hired a bus to go to Jharkhand. there was one businessman, he wanted to sponsor that bus of 30 people to Jharkhand. And the bus was costing about 2.5 lakhs to go and come. And I told him, you don't do all this. I'll give you a seat in the train. But that same 2 lakhs, you please spend it on the entire train for refreshment. So he was very happy. And then, he didn't go take these 30 people by bus, put them all in the train. And along with others, he gave all refreshment, fruit juices, bread and all he supplied to the entire train. So these type of improvisation we used to do. And I was touched by one photo, like just a few days back, I received a photograph from a worker. He sent me a baby's photograph and said, sir, my son is born. And you were kind enough to send me and my family, my family through train in the 11th hour. Otherwise, she would not have reached. So a baby boy is born to him, and in happiness, he has shared the picture with me. And then we had many cases where a few of the progressive farmers in the outskirts, we used to appeal to them. So they had capsicums, they had these fruits, papayas. They used to take tractors and trucks, and we used to tell them these areas, go and just dump it there. So these are some things which really, the entire society, everyone came together. They never thought that I'm from this place, from that place. They all pooled together their resources, and their humanity was at its peak. And doing all this, we enable the workforce of this country for a quicker recovery from this crisis. And Karnataka Police is dedicated to instill confidence in the investor community and further the brand of Indian Silicon Valley. On my closing note, Karnataka is proud to say that because of this great teamwork and meticulous planning, attention to details, we could together implement such a great deal. We are at the end of this voluntary and most synchronized operations in the recent history of the entire police force. I can never be more thankful to my fellow policemen who rose above their regular responsibilities and affiliations to achieve this great feat. Standing tall together in this moment of crisis, Jai Hind, Jai Karnataka.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for this insightful and great session. You have used so many great words that in spite of migrated workers, you told workforce. They are a real workforce of India. And as far as our knowledge and understanding, migrated was just once introduced in Constitution, where definition of citizen was there in Article 6. And we never used migrated words, because all those people, those who had come from Pakistan after partition, they were treated as a migrated. But why we are treating our people in India, that is one citizenship card we all are having. We have the full right to go anywhere, to work, to come back, to establish in any state. And at a senior level, as you are IPS officer, you can work all across India. So the whole India is your home state. In this crisis situation, one amazing thing came. We all are very trying to understand why this thing happened in India. We are treating them as a migrated laborers, and they should go back to their home city or hometown or home state, from Karnataka, from Delhi, from Maharashtra, from other state to different states also. So if they would have taken proper care, or if they would have got all the basic amenities, I don't think this panic would have emerged in such a fashion. So what do you say on this line?
You have told the entire thing. My only thing is that, yes, there was a total underestimation of the numbers first.
Yes.
Not only in one state, it is pan-India. There was an underestimation because the receiving state and the giving state, whichever state, never maintained a record. So there starts the problem. No one had the correct figure. Had we got the correct figure, you would have done proper planning. Figures started coming, and the figures were not like it was varying from 10% to 90%. The variations were very, very high. So where the things went wrong, I don't know. But yes, that's what I told you. The migrant data which we have got is a mine of information with us, and we can do wonders in the social, economic, and in future for their upliftment for the country and the society as such. So once we didn't have the figures with us, it is like hit and try. You don't know what to do with them, whether for food or for transportation. So there starts the problem.
Yeah, very, very true, sir. Now, one question is coming in everyone's mind. After this lockdown, now we have started unlockdown scenario also. So now if they want to go back to those states where they were working, so again might be, because till date, we have not come any solution of this COVID-19. We are still facing problem. and we are just taking care as a precautionary measure. So that would again create some panic and some problem to all the states, where they will again move and they will go back to those states.
Yes, this is again a policy decision, because if you know, from 2nd May, the Shramik train itself was a policy decision.
Correct.
Unless until the trains were introduced, there was no way they could have moved.
True.
So now we don't know what is the policy. So we can't comment on that.
Right.
Certainly things are bad everywhere. So I don't think so it is advisable at this stage to do further movement.
Correct.
And that's a very big policy matter which I can't comment on. Right?
And sir, as you have worked from the ground level and you have helped a lot of people. So sometimes what happens, people just see a negative aspect of government initiative, because India is such a big country, 1.3 billion people living here. So not always easy to take all the corrective measures from the government side. And if you just say the number, as you have told, more than 4.5 people moved during this lockdown, and with the facility of one conveyance, that is train. And train was introduced by central government. They took a decision, yes, you will start train with all precaution, and it started happening. We never encourage those initiative of government, but rather we sometimes just give a credit to few social activists, where they do very small thing, but we just zoom their effort in a very big way. And as what you have done from your state, from Karnataka, you have helped millions of people, not only provide food, but also assisting them for conveyance, those who want to go back to the state. So the picture of those initiatives, people should also know and appreciate ki India being such a big country, government is very keen, very committed, and all the forces, those who are working, you are a real warrior, all those forces, they are working for the people. So don't get panic, and there must be some positivity.
Yeah. See, that's what I told you. My very first attitude should be positive.
Yeah.
And again, I'll tell that unless and until the central government, the government of India, would not have introduced the Shramik trains,
yes,
it was impossible to move. So that was a major decision by the government to move them.
Yes.
And it was done in a very, very systematic manner. And every state has done it in a very, very systematic manner. Such type of pandemic or such huge crisis cannot be solved only by the government.
Yes.
And here also, we had agencies, the administration was also doing their best. But I told you the numbers were coming different manner. So there we started pitching in.
Correct.
So it's a combine, and you know, everywhere, whether it is Karnataka, maybe Bihar, everywhere, everyone, see, it's very easy to point out fault, as you told.
True.
But because no one knew about this situation, no one knew. COVID-19 it's a very, very phenomenon which no one had imagined.
Yes.
And we never know when things will be all right. So it's very easy to point out faults, but we have to adapt to circumstances, and we should be positive and think that yes, this
and
can also be done.
The best part, sir, what you have rightly said, we had one experience, from our side. History told us in 1918 to 20, when a Spanish flu came to India, and more than 2 crores of people died in India at that time. So now, if you are addressing this problem in a proper way, and if you see the number of death and lives, so it's quite a minimum, if you compare with other country. And India having a problem in the health sector, in the sense that they don't have enough health facility, and still they are managing by educating people, by creating some awareness, by guiding them, and just telling them precautionary measure is the best. And these forces are certainly helping us. But there is one thing, sir, just I want a personal opinion of yours. In most of the states, police department is at a different stake, and people have a very negative approach about policing. But whenever there is a crisis, whether there is a natural calamity, disaster, or such kind of pandemic, all of us just want help from you. And again, this time, it happened. Approached you, and we expected, yes, you will help us. So why only this crisis situation, you become a savior, you help us? Why don't we change this mindset to people, and what could be done to change mindset of the local people, the local community? What do you suggest on this?
It's a very larger question you have asked, very, very big. We keep getting this question everywhere.
Yeah.
But yes, things like this will certainly change the mindset.
Yeah.
And after all, we are wearing khaki, but we are human beings. It's only that we are wearing khaki. We are also human beings.
Yes.
So that is the main crux of the matter. So once anyone realizes that yes, see, we are also getting affected by COVID-19, and as you rightly said, that any crisis, we are the persons who take care.
Yes.
But it's like, and then I have another point. I always tell, like some policemen also tell like that. I said, see, we have not, no one has forced me or anyone to join the police force. It is on our own willingness that we have come. It has got challenges. So challenges also, it makes us more perfect. I take it that way.
True. So extremely thankful for this insightful view, sir, and they want to interact with you directly. So our first participant is Miss Sujata Kaura. She has a question to you. Yes, Sujata, you are. Please.
Yeah, very good evening, Shriman. I'm speechless, Shriman, for you. Really, when I heard you are coming here, I was in tears. My gosh, Shriman is going to talk. He is like my younger brother. So I'm very happy since 1980s we are together. When I'm listening to you, again, I was in tears. Wow, Shriman is such a nice human being and what he has done for Karnataka. Actually, we are feeling proud for you, Shriman. You are from Ranchi, you are from Nagaratoli. So this is very true. I'm worried about the people who are coming back to Ranchi, back to Jharkhand, when they will go to Karnataka, how they're going to settle, how they're going to get the job back. And you had done wonderful. So nothing to worry about that. Food and all that you had provided, how they come to Ranchi. We all know very well about the trains and all. But when they will come back, when they will go back, how much time they have to spend here, how they're going to get things Ranchi, how they're going to get some jobs in Ranchi, that is also question mark. Lakhs of people we can't afford. Manrega and all is not going to help that much. So now what is the next process by government, by police or anyone? That is the question. I want to ask that only.
See, I will not be the competent person to talk of we are ready for that. We are already mentally prepared, and because we have got many feelers that yes, people are ready to come back because work is not there. And
yeah, exactly.
Work is concerned that I can't comment on. But here, people are still like builders, the malls. They want them back because they want to open up.
Yes.
But unfortunately, trains are not there. Moment train starts, again they will start coming back. So we are prepared for that, and we have made arrangements like that. And certainly they will. In fact, I get many calls from people. They have left. They have their money stuck here. And they want that money back. But it's a very gray area. I can't interfere in that because there is an agreement between them. So these are civil matters which police has no power. But yes, we have assured them that if it is genuine, you please give your documents and file a case, and accordingly law will take its course. But we can't go and tell someone you give them money back. It won't serve the purpose. But your question is well taken, that yes, there will be difficult times if they are not taken back or they are not employed. It will be very difficult. Very. And we are also facing the situation.
Yeah. Socio-economic problem, both are coming in this situation.
Yes.
That is
true.
Yeah, thank you, Sujata, for this question. So
thank you, Raji, giving me chance.
Thank you, Sujata. So now we have Mr. Pradeep Singh. Pradeep Singh, he wants to ask question.
Yes, thank you, Raju, for allowing me a moment. I first of all, I will say good evening to everyone, and pranam to Seemant sir. We all know that COVID-19 has been an extraordinary situation. It has been an extraordinary thing for the whole world. And we didn't have time for preparedness. At this moment, I think the kind of migrant exodus was happening, and Seemant sir, you stood up in kind of anchoring the need of the neediest person on the road, and kind of take them to their destination. I was hearing your Raju, you had a question on why we have been called migrant, and which is okay. I mean, migrant, I see it as an opportunity. People do go from one place to another place, but the route does not migrate. I am from Ranchi, and now I am sitting here in Abu Dhabi as an IT consultant working in a bank. But my heart is still beats for India. especially bits for Jharkhand, and that's where I was looking for Prabhat covered newspaper, and I read the article about Seemant sir, and I immediately messaged him, hey sir, I mean, I'm feeling so proud, I mean that we have a society where and you have a power where you kind of rose to the occasion and kind of help the neediest who actually would not have got the help from any corner, because this COVID-19 has a many dimensions. Nobody knows how to deal with it, how to tackle the veracity of it. I mean, we really don't know which item to touch, where to go out, how to help people. How I mean, is money going to help them, or is food going to help them, so on and so forth. So I mean, there were in such a heavy uncertainty, and hats off to you, Seemant sir, where you kind of I mean, you showed the values we carry from a small town. I mean, I come from a very remote place, I mean, Gadwa, Jharkhand, Manchiao, and that the value thing which you have talked, that has really touched the very genesis of my origin. And yeah, I mean, we from a small town do a big thing in a big global setup, while carrying our values imbibed within us, So I just wanted to kind of say a very big thank you for your initiative, and we must look for kind of having doing something larger on this line. Why not to kind of create a database? Why not kind of have a people I mean, sent from one state to another state? Why not to kind of lialize the workforce, so that they are benefited of their placement, their welfare, and all those things.
Correct.
Thank you.
Very nicely put, Mr. Pradeep. Actually, we don't need to have a crisis in our life. Let us work in making India in a better place and for everyone. So now we have Ms. Dibya Sonali Minj. She wants a question, and I request Dibya, please just put your question in a very crisp and in a short manner, so that Seemant sir will answer in proper way.
Rajiv, thank you so much for this, and this is the platform. I would like to first thank Mr. Pawan Kanoi, and through him I got this last evening. I know Seemant sir by name since long, and so sir, I just want to thank you. I have my corporate experience of 20 plus years, but to tell you, today's session was just overwhelming. It was like a management guru, and who is delivering a practical session. Otherwise, I have read only on books. When we do planning and execution here, we have SOP. And as you said, in such scenario, there was no SOP, and COVID was, we know that it's a new situation which was there. Okay, so thank you so much. And my key takeaways from today's session has been trust. Because I am a human resource professional, and I was linking it with my employees that when we connect, so trust is so important. Then second was identifying the target audience. So instead of boiling the ocean, so I picked up that as well. And I liked that secret Santa van, which brought smile on my face. Okay. And you have been Secret Santa for so many people, and the Santa van, which you said. Yes. So thank you so much to the entire team. And sir, I wish you good luck. To you, to your team, good health to the entire team. And I wish, since I'm here in Bangalore, if I get any opportunity to work with you during the weekends, so I would be glad to do so. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Sir is always available, as sir has already told that his personal number has become a helpline number. Yes. So nothing to worry. So now, sir, we have Mr. Raman Jha, sir. He is Vice Chancellor of Amity University, Jharkhand. I request him to put his question. And
thank you, Rajiv ji.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
A very grand evening, I would say, to our guest today. It was really heartening to see that the things are happening even across the country. We did similar event with one of my classmates who is also an IPS and the IGP there, and we all Tilayans, Sanic School Tilayan group, we contributed together around 5 lakhs of rupees and soda packets for the students. So I could relate the experience and was listening to you very patiently. Only one question. Possibly there is a need for a closer relation with public as you did once. So it is mainly individuals impacting these days. The systemic or this approach is not there. If that somehow comes, maybe there is a need for I would say a evolution type of a thing, that police is not for checking things but by part and parcel of the public for felicitation, and then people will then relate to it. Any help, I should go to police rather than I should be going away from police. So he already hinted at it. So, but then there is an approach which is required in the system, which is the public administration itself. There is a need for a change. That's my suggestion, not a question exactly. So,
actually, I'll just like to add that it is one of my core areas where I try to do something. Basically, you are touching about the concept called community policing.
Correct.
Community policing, we try our best to inculcate those features, and if we go back previous years, policing is no longer that typical regulatory police. It's more like we are more facilitators. This as such has become, we should act as facilitators, not as regulators. Once we keep that thing in mind, it will see in this situation. I'll tell you, I just started it, and after that, people are trying. There's a concept like same people from a apartment who contributed rations to us. After that, they saw that okay, so these people are going by train, and that first day they didn't have food. I listened to one of them, and then they have 3,000 flats in one particular locality. All of them made 10 chapatis extras, 10 chapatis from the road, and they started doing this. So I'm not a part of that. I never into, but that they got an idea, and then they approached us with how best it can be given. With community policing, if it takes place, it is the order of the day.
Yeah, maybe sir, young population in the universities and colleges, they are ever ready to help and support the public at large. So a relationship can be built with the universities. Ready-made resources available for.
Yes, in fact, I missed out on it. If you go by the numbers, it is touching more than 1 lakh food ration packets.
I'm sure, yes.
1 lakh, and the cost may be running into crores.
Yeah.
No one has given. Everyone from every quarter has contributed, even from 50 packets to 1,000 packets, and one packets were costing between 500 rupees to 800 rupees to 1,000 rupees. The number. So people are ready to donate. Only thing is we have to give them direction. Good development.
Right. Congratulations once again. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Raman sir, for this insightful question and properly answered by Seemant sir. So now we have Mr. Siddharth Majumdar, who is a senior person, very experienced from Ranchi and associated with Lions Club. So I request to unmute him so that he will put his question. Siddharth Majumdar. Yes, Siddharth sir, sir, you are muted actually. Kindly unmute yourself or.
Yes, thank you, Rajivji, and Pawanji also. And, I have a question. I do believe that still you are in the same process. Still we, migration still is going on. But what about reverse migration? What are the plans, and how it is going to affect not only Bangalore? How this model is going to affect Pan India?
I told you in my first question also that reverse migration can start only when trains are again given, and that is a policy decision which I have no say in that. That is first. Secondly, if and when it takes place, it will take place, I'm sure, in phases. We can plan out things better. We can plan out things because we know the numbers and we know the locations, we know the professions which they are in. Right now, it was exodus. I can tell you, people are just maddening crowd running out. So reverse migration will not be so chaotic. It will be pan India. It will be slightly better than what happened.
Thank you, sir. Now, sir, we have Ms. Puspa Kiran. She wants to ask question. So kindly unmute her, Puspa Kiran.
Can you hear me, Seemant sir?
Yes.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. I'm from Bangalore. I think Pushpa, my associate, had registered for me. So my question kept coming as Pushpa Kiran's question. That's not a problem. Seemant sir, thank you very much for a fantastic presentation and so much insight into what has happened. Me being in Bangalore, I've seen the leadership that you and Praveen sir have taken here and led from the front. I think human grandeur comes out in crisis, and most importantly, I think when you have a heart and when you're more human than what the uniform bears, and you reach out to people with authority, And with all the resources at your hand, miracles can be done, and you have shown it. Thank you very much.
Yes.
I just have a question for you, sir. If there was any 3 takeaways, I mean, not more than takeaways, if there were 3 learnings that you would like to share going forward, I know your policies and some of the statements you make you may be constrained because you may not be able to express everything that you have learned in the crisis openly because of your protocols. But if there is something that you want to express as one thing, at least one thing that can be made, can be done differently in the future. Crises will keep coming. It's nice that we call them guest workers. For sure, they are not migrants. That was a misnomer. I don't know how the media kept it for so long as migrants. Terrible. Guest workers has to be treated like a guest. So what is it going forward? Because COVID-19 is not going away in a hurry. So going forward, what is it that you think that we can do to, I would say, be a bit more organized? I like Ramanja's suggestion about involving youngsters. There was a lot of energy there. There were a lot of possibilities there. So what do you think we can do, and what we would like to express that we can take away?
See, first and foremost, like you see these last 3 months, there were different phases. First it was for food, then it was for train, then now it is problem of COVID. So as things are coming, presently we are faced with the problem of COVID. And it's a very, very, very dangerous situation. So in this, like, you also will understand that 80% of the people are asymptomatic, positive. I mean, to say, people having tested positive are asymptomatic. They don't have any symptoms. They don't have any problem. But unfortunately, we are taking them to the hospitals.
Yes.
And it is creating a burden on the hospital medical infrastructure. So we can have, and it is happening now in Bangalore, in Karnataka, policy has started, care centers, that's called CCC. That COVID care centers. So where you put these positive people with no symptoms, they just need an isolation. In this situation, our community, our society can come forward and they can identify these places. They can be as volunteers, not inside, but at least outside, and help in their own localities. And don't treat COVID-19 as something which is outcast.
Correct.
Don't treat it as the old TB we used to hear in our childhood days. TB sanatoriums used to be outside of the city. So this is not a situation. This is a illness which has come, which will go. And we have to treat it in the same manner which we are doing. Like we can provide food. Suppose you say 100 guest workers or migrants, they get infected with this. Then what do you say? Well, who will deal with them? We have to deal with them. Doctors are not so much in number. Medical infrastructure is limited. So we have to see only the very, very serious cases, transfer them to the hospitals. Rest we can take care, and that is where the society comes into picture, and we can certainly do a wonderful job there. I'm planning on my own, and we'll certainly come up with something.
Absolutely wonderful, sir. Actually, you hit the nail on its head for the information of everybody. Really, for COVID-19, really a lot of care is needed in terms of building your immunity and taking care at home. You really don't, most of them don't need hospitalization. And thank you very much for that suggestion.
Can I just add one thing?
Sure.
We, in a small manner, all the IT professionals, we can stories of people who have recovered and make it viral in the social media.
Yes.
In different status, like whether workers, whether ladies, gents, this age group, different problems, because many people have come out. They're all discharged. We see the data. You go to COVID-19.org, you see the figures, 2 lakhs, 2.5 lakhs, something discharged. So why can't we make them viral, city-wise, so this wise, and make a positive beginning? Okay, look, people are getting cured. Why do you get bothered? We had a very unfortunate incident a few days back where one of our staff, police staff, he hanged himself while being taken in the van.
Oh my God.
He was tested positive. I don't know what happened to him. He was alone in the van. He was being taken to the hospital because he was tested positive, and he was going, and on the way he has hanged himself in the van just out of fear or this thing. So we have to take this thing mindset out of it, and we can do it.
Yes.
We can't expect government to do everything.
Correct.
Absolutely.
And that's the best way also, sir. Just to lead from the front, and if you take the charge, people will respond properly as you have responded from Karnataka, and you helped a lot actually. Now the time is running short, so I understand today is a great day for you also, because as you have told that you have been transferred with a new assignment and more challenging as a IGP Bangalore range. And so I wish and I hope that all your initiative will be recognized properly, and it's a great session, sir. Before end, sir, I just want to tell a few things about all my participants also. As you have told that you got a call and you started, responded, and this thing happened actually. You became a real savior. In the same fashion, what happened few months back, when we just thought to organize TEDxKanke and we got the license from TED, I got a call from one of my friend who told Raju, what are you doing and why you are doing? I explained him in a proper way. Let us bring something at Ranchi where we should feel proud of about Ranchi. So these are a small initiative with a big objective where we can contribute to the society in a bigger way. That friend is Mr. Sarvan Jajodia, and he helped me in such a fashion, morally, financially. He's our patron of TEDxKanke, and he told me, Rajiv, I am with you forever. So I also told him that we will take this TEDxKanke forever. Like that, we got a few other friends, Mr. Atul Agrawal, who is an entrepreneur, Mr. Rohit Tripathi, who is a techie savvy guy, and he's a founder of Ranchi Tech. Those three people became patron of this TEDxKanke, and they told me, they gave me confidence that yes, we will do together and we will create a platform where we can spread the best ideas, we can get the best mind. And I'm very fortunate with a limited understanding of this platform. I got a very huge response from all senior people. Dr. Sriranjan, who is an IS officer of 1985 batch, he retired as Additional Chief Secretary from Meghalaya cadre. He's one of our advisors. Professor Raman Jha, who is the Vice Chancellor, who is attending this program, he's our advisor. Mr. G.K. Pillai, who was earlier CMD of HEC and presently is a director and advisor of Walchand Group of Industries of Pune, Walchand Group of Industries of Pune, and Mr. M.J. Javier, who was founding director of IIM Ranchi, sir. They helped me. They gave me moral support. Yes, Rajiv, we can do a quite different thing for the people, and that's a small initiative. Now I am seeing, sir, when we had organized this TEDxKanke on 23rd of February, and I was of the view that once in a year we will do such program. And at that time, we had invited 13 speakers from pan-India and across the world also. We never ever thought that this kind of crisis will come. And in this crisis, we will start doing something small. Today is such a session, sir. You are being a 13th speaker, and so lucky day for all of us also, that in this lockdown, we organize such thing for the people. It is going to help to everyone, because when you spread the right idea, right spirit, when you motivate, and when you don't only say, you act. And as an Indian also, we have a different mindset. Yes, टुगेदर हम लोग अच्छा करेंगे, बहुत जबरदस्त करेंगे. वो पागलपन है, वो जुनून है. And yes, this small initiative will just create a platform that we will not only help the small society, but at a country level also. And with all great support from all great speakers like you, from participants from a different stream, people are participating from a different country also. And we have a small team, sir, young, energetic, a small team. Mr. Kanish Poddar, Miss Kanika Malhotra, Miss Preeti Gupta, Mr. Vijender Sharma, Santosh Sharma, निलय, ऋषभ, रश्मि साहा, ये लोग मिल करके सर बहुत छोटा शुरुआत किया है. बट वी आर वर्किंग हार्ड टू क्रिएट समथिंग टू कंट्रीब्यूट. दिस इज अ स्मॉल इनिशिएटिव, and I'm very thankful to each and everyone, to all participants. Let us do something, let us contribute, let us think differently. And this crisis situation has given one more very important thing. We have become more empathetic. We have developed a real corona to karuna in ourselves. So that's a beauty. Sir, as a police officer, you're responding on a humanitarian ground. People normally don't believe, but you responded that way. So that's a real inspiration, sir. And we will certainly help the society, the people together, and together we will win. Thank you to everyone. Thank you, Seemant sir, for this amazing talk. We are grateful, and from core of heart, TEDxKanke is proud of you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks to all. Thanks everyone.